Hello, welcome to Master Powercast. Keeping it Filmation, talking about a highly underrated cartoon, of course, Bravestarr. Tyler, man, there's so many good things to say about this show. This episode in particular, very heavy hitting. I had never watched this episode prior till a couple days ago and was taken aback by it. I don't want to spoil the plot details just yet. Let's just discuss Bravestarr as a whole right now, and just how underappreciated it is, and seeing that jump between Master Universe, She-Ra, and then to Bravestarr and how it evolved.
The animation is unbelievable. The craft that they put in there, it really was showing that they were getting progressively better. Not that they were ever bad at any point. Like, I love watching, Black Star and Flash Gordon, and love, sometimes the animation is more simplistic, and other moments it's absolutely breathtaking. But Bravestarr was just like, man, they're really like, transcending, setting a bar in terms of quality, because I think it was one of the few, if not last, of animation studios in the U.S. to do everything in house.
Yeah.
And I tell you, there's just certain sequences, whether it's in the Bravestarr movie or in the series itself, man, there's just like, man, my God, this just looks unfucking believable. And again, as we said before, there were so many people fighting for attention in the 80s in the toy aisles and the TV stations. Not everyone could be on top, but this just had everything going for it. But I don't know if it's timing or what. I feel like people have made mention too that the release of the toys and the animated series was kind of off center a bit, or that they weren't lined up to kind of catch fire at the right time there. But I don't know. I feel like most people, when they do mention Bravestarr, they tend to praise it.
Yeah,
it's not looked upon as like this, shit on cartoon that people never gave a shit about, cowboys and sci-fi. It's usually regarded in high praise for the most part, but there's just never been a whole lot of celebration for it. But there clearly is a fan base for it. But it would be nice if it was a much more bigger and more vocal fan base,
Yeah, and the toy line, I think, is underrated as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's different in its scale compared to everything else that was out at the time. Granted, when we're talking articulation, there's a little bit of it, not much, but I like the toy line.
I thought that was, and I only had one of the toys as a kid, and I desperately wanted more of them, but I thought they were beautifully articulated. Considering outside of like what I was used to with the 5 points of articulation, a Bravestarr figure had a lot, from knee bends and extending your legs out and bending at the joints, and being able to hold, the guns, and the neutral laser and the rifle and all that stuff. That's, of course, not all the figures were highly articulated, but like Bravestarr and Tex-Hex and the Sandstorm and Handlebar had some decent articulation. 3030 is not going to have great articulation. He's got basic, for a horse that's supposed to be a steed and then can stand upright and fire, Sarah Jane. I think it works for what it is.
And I am incredibly tempted with the ramen toy release of the Marshall, and I don't know what they're calling their 3030, but I would like to pick both of those up despite their prices. So maybe that's something I will pull the trigger on soon. But Tyler, let's move on to this very... It's important. I think this is a very important episode of not just Bravestarr, but just that time period of cartoons, because without trying to get too much into spoiler territory with this, if no one's ever watched it when we're getting ready to review it here, this is a point in time where there are a lot of cartoons that are putting out episodes in this nature that are talking about drugs and how bad they are, and sometimes maybe not just drugs, maybe sometimes it involves like drinking or whatever, but for the most part it was like the war on drugs, because you think about that time period in the mid 80s to the late 80s, it was the war on drugs. You go see arcade machines, winners don't use drugs, and
well into the 90s as well too.
Absolutely. And it's oftentimes came across, and I'm looking at that. We were talking about this yesterday. The cartoon All Stars to the Rescue, or whatever it was called, where it's, oh, here's Care Bears and Michelangelo, and they're saying don't smoke.
Kermit and Garfield and Alf all in the same cartoon,
and they're saying don't smoke weed, right? So and when you look at the Wikipedia article on that, you see that it's, oh, it was the Bush administration in conjunction with like McDonald's. So it's like it had all of this corporate stink on it, right? And oftentimes, more often than not, that all of those messages came across as just really preachy and eye roll inducing. Whereas in this episode, you don't get that at all. This is very much, I don't want to say Scared Straight-esque, but it's very serious in its tone throughout the entire thing. And
there's no pull punches. They don't dance around the ramifications of heavy drug use or drug use in general. And
yeah,
I think that's something that a lot of people who had an episode about drug use, whether it was on Cops or G.I. Joe, where you've got good and evil teaming up to fight drugs because drugs are so bad. Like, yeah, it's fun to see the good guys and the bad guys team up, but almost kind of like unbelievable that Cobra Commander would be down with drugs, but he wants world domination and terrorism and stuff like that. But drugs is where he draws the line.
Yeah.
But this is like really emphasizing, what will happen, and what people, how they respond when they get addicted to drugs, what they're willing to do to their friends, their family, the lengths they're willing to go to get the next fix. And it's not done in a way that comes off as like, they're smacking in the face, with it. It's telling a very good story with people who are trying to deal with it. And, you got, well, we'll get into it, but it's done so tastefully that I wish more shows, when they really, especially action adventure shows, wanted to focus one episode on, emphasizing, kids, don't do drugs, smoke cigarettes, whatever the case may be. Like, it can be done in a way that's like, look, they are children, but they're not fucking idiots.
Yeah.
I think we need to give children a little benefit of the doubt that they don't naturally come out into the world and start, you're 5 years old and, oh, I'm gonna smoke a do because I saw this guy do it. Like, have a little bit more respect for their intelligence. If kids at age 5, like when we were, could learn how to work a VCR and all that stuff, I think we could, pretty safe to say, I'm not going to pick up a cigarette, because I saw Arnold smoking a cigar and Predator or something like that. I'm like, I'm not that fucking naive. And this is what this cartoon does. This episode treats kids with intelligence. And I think it's really, its biggest impact is what will happen, not the constant, drug the bad, okay.
Yeah.
It's not that at all.
So this sits at the top in regards to any episodes related to being a drug PSA, more or less. That this is the top tier. So let's go ahead. We'll dive on in. Of course, Bravestarr, 65 episode run. You got to have the 65 so you can make it into syndication. This episode here, air date was the 26th episode to make it to air, but his production number, oddly enough, is 47th out of 65. Aired on October 22nd, 1987. Tyler, you and I would have been just over 3 years old.
Yeah, in daycare at the time.
Yep. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. Switch this over here. All right. So I got the one that's actually got the intro to it. So if you want to discuss a little bit of the intro, as always, when Filmation pops up and has the presents, you hear the clogging of the horse feet and then the whoosh.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's a wonderful change, from the usual Filmation sound effects, as the letters form, and then you hear that bing.
Yep.
And then the cattle branding with the Bravestarr logo is just, it's amazing to let you know this is Western with sci-fi right off the bat. And I mean, the opening sequence right here is a great testament to like just how the standard has just been risen to a whole new level. How
much they evolved as an animation studio in that period of time. Because you got to think, this is only 5 years removed from when they first started Master Universe, roughly.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
just beautiful
it's
stuff.
so epic with a great theme song. Lou Scheimer doing the narration. You know, God, I love the shot too when Sands was getting ready to, attack Bravestarr from behind, and Bravestarr just turns around with this big backhand, knocks him the fuck out. It's so cool.
And 3030 is such a great design.
I love him. I love him so much. So cool. Just the whole cast is just it's a finite cast of characters, but I love seeing it's a mix up of, this group and this group. Okay, only these two and these three and that kind of thing. So.
And this all boils down to why this episode's probably as great as it is, written by Bob Ford.
Yeah, definitely the most prominent writer on the series, for sure. And we're not going to be seeing Tex-Ex and his gang or any other, your traditional Western villains that are seen on this show.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be greeted with a brand new villain made for the show.
Yep.
But he's from a familiar gang, the Dingoes.
Yep.
The villains in this show, but they have a leader, not really a leader, but a guy called Dealer, who is making his way through parts of New Texas here.
Yeah, so we get our panning shot, and then we get a voiceover from Shaman who says, "Evil, I sense its approach, but it is not I who is threatened. No, it is another, someone young."
Yeah, anytime Shaman shows up, or you see these nice, beautiful shots of Star Peak, man, it's just like, this is just beautiful work, man. I love the character of Shaman so much, and just saying it's the version of the Sorceress and Castle Grayskull on this show. It's so fucking cool, man.
Yep. So here is the Dealer making his way, and of course, I mean, you take one look at him, you're like, yep, there's nothing good.
He's a piece of shit.
Yep. From there, as we get the voiceover from Shaman, we see Dealer walking into town. This is when we get introduced to three kids. We have Jay, who's kind of like the older kid, sort of, and then his friend Brad, and then Daisy. And they've built this fort, which is pretty badass.
It's like their version of Fort Carrium. Like they're kind of they're doing what kids would like. I wish I could have had a clubhouse or something. I could have had battles, to pretend I was like defending as a kid. And you see this, like, oh my God, this has been the ultimate clubhouse. The only thing missing would have been a fire pole to slide down through.
Yeah, which I would have been too chicken shit to go down, because there was, some of the playground stuff they would have.
Yes. Believe me, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have like the rickety bridge, and then you would have like the pole that you could go down. I never went down it because it always seemed like it was too far off the ground for me.
Oh my God,
I can't do this.
You couldn't have pulled me away. The only thing that sucked about it is if it was like really hot and you would slide your hands down.
Yeah,
it burned the fuck out of your hands, man.
Yeah. I was always more of oddly enough like a monkey bars kind of kid.
I love those too, but if I had a fire pole, but I get to play Ghostbusters, man.
So they've added a new piece to their fort, and they're very excited about it. And this is when Jay's point of view, he's got his little turret gun, and he hits on the Dealer, and he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that." And then, of course, the Dealer is talking
to the kids.
Yeah, stranger danger, man.
And Jay, being the alpha male of the group, I guess in his eyes, is like, "Hey, we'll see what he wants," and Daisy and Brad are like, obviously, it's that mentality. Like, it's a stranger. We don't know who this guy is.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Yeah, and you would always kind of have that in friend groups, that there would always be the one that would take the initiative, and most times in scenarios like this, go in this direction in the wrong way. Essentially, I think you and I both would be like the Brad and the Daisy. That's like, nah, this seems really sketchy. I'm not one to go
along with the group. I mean, I've been in a situation where I've been offered stuff, and I'm like, nah, that's not for me, man.
and I guess if we're trying to pinpoint an age range for the three of them,
I figure these kids are probably approaching middle school age. Like they're probably still like elementary school, like maybe 5th grade.
Yeah, kind of that in between, probably like anywhere between 11 to 13.
You still enjoy playing outside and playing games, stuff like that, like in a playground, but you're getting to that point where you want to be more adult, which I feel like that's what Jay is feeling right now, Which Daisy's going to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I don't blame her. I'm going to go home. Like, absolutely. I would have been the same way.
and
sure.
Dealer, like the way he addresses her, like, I mean, he's just like, I mean, a snake oil salesman to the end here, but a real sleaze. Just Filmation did a phenomenal job of designing him with the suit, the small mustache, to really sell the fact that this is he's a first class prick.
And here is when you get the beginnings too of Jay kind of heckling Brad anytime Brad starts to say anything of
showing conscience, like, you know,
yeah,
this is not this isn't a very good idea, bud.
And Jay, of course, this is when you're a chicken. Don't be chicken. Don't be a chicken.
And we've all dealt with that, like maybe not directly chicken, but being that in the group, and you know, whether you're going to go do something that, you know, may not be too safe, you know, you that peer pressure of like, you don't want to be the weak link, the wiener in the group when everyone else or someone that maybe feel like they're above you is like making you feel like, you know what, you're not tough, you can't hang with the boys here.
Yeah.
And it's part of growing up, unfortunately. It's just dealing with those emotions, and like, you know, in that moment you feel like maybe I should have went along with the group, you know.
Yeah. And Jay has decided, like, I'm going to hear him out. Then we transition over to Marshall and 3030, who have apprehended someone who's just kind of out of their mind. And then this is when we're going to first get the inclinations of spin, the drug that's going around.
And I like that it's already, like, it's not brought up like it's something brand new to the territory. Like, it's something Bravestarr and 3030 have been dealing with. They're aware of it, and the sightings and the cases are getting worse and worse.
Yeah. At this point, 3030 just fucking grabs the guy in like a half Nelson.
Yeah. And Bravestarr's like telling him, like, don't hurt him.
Yeah.
You know, and even when, you know, this guy is getting excessively aggressive, you know,
he's tweaked out pretty bad here.
Yeah. And doesn't know where he's at, and is convinced that they're spiders and they're going to eat him, you know, because of the bad case of spin that he's on. I mean, he's clearly overdosed on it, and just put him in the cell there, and that's when kind of Brave starts kind of giving his exposition to the audience, like how long this has been going on, how bad the situation is.
Yeah, and he makes a point to say to 3030, no one wants to be an addict partner, but it happens.
Yeah.
And he makes a point to say if they could see him in the jail cell, maybe people wouldn't, they would kind of think twice and not want to do it.
Again, this is intelligent writing.
Yeah.
It's not doing the by the numbers, like as if like someone from the government is helping you write the script.
Yeah.
You know, these are people who are trying to treat kids like, you know, we're yeah, I mean, you want the hero of the show to talk to children like they're intelligent, and Bravestar's doing that as you know, with the children being the audience here. When we go back to the clubhouse, and Dealer pulls out a little bottle of spin, and
it's kind of like its namesake, because when he's holding the bottle, you see it moving.
It's like a little
around.
tornado inside it, and it's. I mean, they do a great job of animating and illustrating this drug in a little vial. Mm-hmm. that looks captivating to people who are like, you know,
and he's
unfamiliar with something like that,
and he's selling it like you're gonna love it, you're gonna feel good,
and I'm not gonna charge you can have it for free.
Yeah. And
writing Dealer as a legitimate drug dealer.
It's, and what's interesting about this too is it's not, you don't ingest it orally, like you just
you absorb it into your skin.
It absorbs into the skin,
which, you know, it makes perfect sense for a show like this. Like, you're not going to inject it or inhale it. It's something that just absorbs into the palm of your hand there, and you let the high take over. And, you know, Jay Brad, excuse me, is just like,
yep.
No,
he starts to at first, but then changes his mind, and then he's like, I'm going to go ahead and go. Which good on him. And then this, of course, Jay, you're being a chicken.
Just giving him a lot of shit. And of course, Dealer's like, he's like, oh, don't worry. And, you know, well, I'll share it with you there, bud. And I love the animation of him, like, with the toothpick still. It's a nice touch of him, you know, like being the smarter one of the group, because he knows what he's doing. I mean, he's making an addict. He's making some money here.
Yep. So he pours it into Brad's hand. He absorbs it immediately.
You see the sweat, the perforation
Yep.
starts immediately pouring out of his head, and him just taking in the high of this drug, and it's like the tone, the scene itself plays out so straight and dramatic.
Yep. Like he's responding to it. We cut from that, and then we go back. And when I first saw this, I'm like, oh, the dude died.
Yeah.
I was like, they put him in a jail cell, but he had too much. He tweaked out too hard, and he passed away. But it turns out they're going to take him to the hospital.
And Doc Clayton, the local doc, has been seeing a ton of cases like this and letting Bravestarr know that this is just these cases are piling up.
And I love Doc Clayton's design.
I do too. Yeah.
It's
kind of Malacta-like almost, you know.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, we're talking Western with sci-fi, and I see this design in my mind. I'm thinking, oh, like Tombstone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me. I can think of like Morgan Freeman playing Doc Clayton.
that would have been. Who would you, if we would have done like a live action Bravestarr film? Let's say the point of time the cartoon comes out, so the movie would obviously come out if they wanted to do it sometime, maybe like 89,
like it's
90.
a show but probably 89. Probably, because it came out in 87. The movie comes out in 88.
Yeah. So 89, 90. Obviously, Morgan Freeman,
90.
Doc Clayton. But who would you have play Bravestarr?
I would cast an unknown.
Yeah,
I would want it to be, an actual Native American, to play the part. I think at that point it would have been important to like, no, this is the character. We're not going to cast an actor and give a nice tan and Daniel Day-Lewis and Last of the Mohicans or something like that.
Or like even worse, do like some shit. What was it? John Wayne as Genghis Khan or whatever.
Oh yeah, you kind of expect that stuff back in the 60s and the 70s, but at this point it's like, cast a well-built Native American actor to play the part, and then fill out the rest with a wide assortment of various character actors.
Yeah, there really wasn't much representation. There wasn't that I can recall. There weren't a lot of like Native American actors that
like Sonny Landon, Billy from Predator comes to mind. But I feel like he would have been, with his reputation of being a shit starter and picking fights like that behind the scenes, I think he'd have been even though he had the build, but you know what? Maybe he could have, because his portrayal of Billy is so fucking good. And he's played various other characters in action movies and things like that. So, Billy could have done it. Like, hey, we're going to give you a starring role, but you got to get your shit together. This movie's aimed for kids. Like, don't come on set and pick fights with people. And, like they said on Predator, they had to hire a bodyguard for insurance purposes because of how much shit he would start with people.
Oh, man.
That's
stuff I was unaware of all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
and that's something like, and I mean, next to Carl Weathers, like it's Dutch, Dylan and Billy, I think, are the top three characters in Predator, and Billy just always left such an impression. I mean, I think I will, not just because it's the only one I can think of at the moment, but I think he could have been just think about how he plays Billy, and then translate that to Bravestarr, who's not quiet and stoic and a tracker, but just a good man. So it's possible Sonny Landham could have played Bravestarr.
Yeah. At this point, Brad is also there, and Brad really wants to let Bravestarr know, hey, this is what's going down, but he can't.
The peer pressure, feeling like his friend's going to make fun of him. If Jay's going to give him shit when he sees him again, if anyone finds out, and he's just like, you know what, never mind, and just gets up and runs off. And both Clayton and Bravestarr are like, I don't know, Doc. I think he seemed pretty bothered about something. It had to have been something.
Yeah.
So, and then we go back to the clubhouse, and Jay cannot wait to tell Brad about how
it was
awesome
great.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. The animation of him like, dude, I was living the good life. And Brad is just like, man, I'm just so disappointed in you, man. Like, you just sound like a complete. And when Jay's talking about the images he saw, I mean, Brad's response to be mine, like, you sound like a fucking idiot, man. Like, you think that's great?
Yeah.
And it's so genuine and sincere, man. Like, this is, and then of course, Jay sitting there like being all tough about it. And,
yeah. More chicken talk.
Yeah.
Being a chicken. Don't be a chicken. I don't know, man.
I don't know you anymore.
Yeah.
And then Jay finds Dealer and wanting to get some more, and he's like, "But I think you said it was for free." Oh, the first one was, but I tell you what, I'll cut you a deal.
Oh man.
And he wants three nuggets of carrium, which hard to imagine. Which Jay says that's a fortune, which could have been $300 to us.
Mm-hmm.
One nugget, but carrium is the currency on New Texas. So
has anyone ever taken the time to break that down to what that could possibly equate to?
Not that I've ever seen, but I've also never looked either. It's just like when I watch an episode and they're talking about, here's back.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that's the money. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's but carrium is such a high resource. It's used for a fuel source. It's used for currency. It has a lot of purposes. So
for him to say that 3 is a lot given his age, I believe it. I mean, it could even be as $50 or $30 because you may mention this before. $50 when you're that age seems like a shitload of money.
Yeah, so it's all the money in the world when you're a kid. You're like, oh my god, like why not $3 million?
Yeah, and of course, Dealer here's like, oh well, hey man,
you're a smart kid, you'll figure it out. Don't worry. It's like, but we're friends. I'm cutting you a deal. He's like, all right.
Yeah. So then
Jay goes back to like, I got him hooked. Got him hooked.
Jay goes back home. Miss Ullman, the sweet lady that she is like, hey, I'm making you dinner. And he's like, I'm not hungry. And then that's when Jay gets the idea. You notice here, he sees the purse, kind of takes a couple glances at it, and decides,
Mama, I'm not hungry. I'll see you later.
And swipes the purse. And this is the part that I think just really rings true what we were talking about at the beginning of just how this is written. I'm sure anyone out there can relate to this scenario. Maybe not in the direct sense, but you know somebody that's been addicted, and no matter what, they do whatever they can, steal from relatives, steal from other people so they can get the money to get the next fix. They don't care about anything else. It's just, I got to get to the next one. I got to get to the next one.
And to think this child is already that fixated on it, and that Dealer is just looking at the money he's going to be making off this stuff, man. It's just, man, this is beautiful writing. I mean, really emphasizing the realism of this scenario here.
And he digs through it, and then that's when he gives him an exchange. The dealer's like, yeah, all right, here you go. Gives him another
and he's not giving a vial. It's just a hit.
Yep.
A drop in the palm.
Yep.
Is worth 3 carrium nuggets. And, man, I tell you, that's just, I mean, this is flawless writing here. Really nailing in the graphic details about what an addict goes through, what they're willing to do just for a small dose of getting that itch scratched.
And so Brad, we see a panning shot. We see Brad for a second. Brad goes back to the clubhouse. Jay's already there.
And out of his mind, just rubbing his palm profusely.
I mean, you can see
he's glazed out of his mind.
Yeah, and he just keeps talking about spin and just incoherent babble, just saying spin repeatedly. I mean, you can just see it here in the movement that I'm making, just in these increments.
And Erica Scheimer does such a beautiful job of illustrating like him just out of his wits.
Yep, and that's when Brad notices the purse. At the same time, it's like, what are you doing with yourself?
Like, you stole your mom's purse for this shit?
Yep, and Jay is just kind of rocking back and forth, eyes back of his head. Spin.
He's enjoying the high he's on, and then Brad's like, "Look, I gotta do something about this." And when he realizes, oh my god, he's gonna go tell his mother or the authorities, he leaps up and just tackles him to the ground. Like he his brain is just reacting immediately to that. Like as much as it seemed like he wouldn't have even noticed or paid attention to the fact that Brad is leaving.
Yeah. The
minute he heard, hey, I got to let people know about this. Like, he's ready to, deck his best friend over this.
Yeah. And what a Yeah, like
you just think about it, man. Like if you or I were in the situation, one of us was going through this. Like we're seeing our best friend falling apart over something like that. How sickening it would be to just, oh my god, like it it's unfathomable to realize
and
something like that.
and you see it a lot where people try their hardest to try to help and do what they can to help,
Yeah.
and then in some instances it reaches a point where they have no other choice but to just sever ties and just be like, I can't do this anymore.
And I like that Brad has written here in just a moment too, where he's thinking about like, look, I can't, you know, well, we'll get to that as we're seeing another spin victim being hauled off.
And they're starting to pile up once again. 30-30 is like, all right, this half Nelson deal. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead and fucking.
Yeah, I'm sure these guys any other time would not be fucking around with 30-30, but these guys, they are. I mean, they're gone. These guys are just. Yeah, they've been nuked to kind of make reference to RoboCop 2.
Yep, and at this point, Bravestarr is like, all right, let me go ahead and see if maybe I can locate where they're trying.
Because it's all coming from a particular area. Like all these occurrences and cases are all happening in the same territory. And I forgot what the name of it is, but he's like, there's got to be, you know, a plant, like a base where they're making this shit. A factory of some kind, and it's like immediately, well, Eyes of the Hawk are not locating immediately. It's going to take some time here to locate this base, this factory.
And 30-30 is like, all right, but it's starting to fill up, and then we get our little panning shot of just all these people that have been jailed.
You think about that too, putting them all in there together at the same time, and a massive fight could break out.
Yeah,
you're just like, you know, if you think about how realistic the show is, like you damn well know. And I think Fuzz, if he wasn't there, you know, like, is he left in charge? Like, oh my god, like these inmates are all beating the shit out of you because they're all addicted to this shit.
Yeah, and we don't get any scene like that.
No. But
you don't
wonder.
You don't need it, but yeah, like as you said,
like
can't help but think.
Is JB and Fuzz like watching over while, you know, as we'll see what 30-30 and Bravestarr are gonna be doing here in a little bit. But we cut to this nice shot, like this kind of high rise, almost like maybe like an apartment complex in Fort Carrium, and Brad is just thinking to himself like, I can't stop this guy from doing what he wants to do, but I don't want to stand around and just do nothing.
And then the shaman appears.
Yeah.
And they talk about it, and he's saying here, I made a promise to him, and shaman says, then you must decide. A promise is important, yes, but a life is more so. And which would you rather lose forever, a promise or a friend?
See, shaman written to absolute perfection, man.
Yeah. It's
and that really clicks, you know, with Brad. Like, there's nothing to think about. Like, I know what I got to do.
Yeah.
And I just love that the shaman has had that that he has an idea of what's going down in New Texas right now, you know, and he just sits, you know, kind of has to just watch. He's an observer and does what he can, but he just has such a limited but very memorable presence in this episode.
Yeah. And I like the part here when Brad decides this is what I'm going to do. When he turns around to address Shaman again, Shaman's gone.
It's like Shaman wants to participate and help out with this, but, you know, like, people have got to make their own decisions.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, come over and just, you know, hey, you do this because it's the right thing to do. Like, he's letting Brad make up his own decision by laying it all out here. And you decide, you know, you're a human being. You can make your own decision. You decide what you feel is best.
Yep.
And they locate the factory, and
it's time to go fucking bust it up, man.
Yeah. And I love that they have an actual, you know, spin factory they're going to break up, like finding a meth lab or something like that.
And as they've located, they're about to go and they take off. This is when all right, so Brad shows up right as they're leaving, and he doesn't catch them in time.
Nope.
Yeah, which he's like,
all right,
wait, I'll get them when they come back. At this point, Jay, desperate once again to get more.
He needs Carrick. He needs more Carrium. So he's going to Daisy now to see if she'd be willing to fork over some Carrium. And
I'll
She
pay you
looks
back.
frightened out of her mind, as well she should be.
Yeah. And just you get that typical, yeah, give me this, I'll pay you back kind of thing. And she reluctantly gives in.
And Dealer just pops her, in this junk pile over here, like, and he gives them enough to get a full vial of spin this time.
Yeah. So,
and we look at that, man. This is just like, Jesus Christ, man. This is.
So whereas before it was just a drop, a tiny taste, now he gets an entire vial all to himself.
And the look of the spin factory too, like it just. I mean, look at that with the black clouds over it and the red and like the light, almost like the red light of the spin illuminating from the factory, almost like lighting the ground up there.
And it's like you got to think, like, what are they concocting together to even make that stuff?
Yeah.
So then they find the other dingoes here.
Boy, you just love to see 33 just beat the shit out of all these guys, man. And these are dingoes that, they get used a lot, in various episodes. So it's they all, you could often say that many of them look alike here, but this particular group.
But I like that there's like that subset of villains throughout.
I do too, because a lot of times they're working with Tex and his crew, and then sometimes they're working on their own.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like they're kind of, they're almost say gun for hire, but they're a group that, they're out for themselves or the highest bidder, I guess you could kind of say, not necessarily mercenaries, but they're making their way in the world, and it means selling drugs right now.
Yeah.
Which they're trying to make their case to Bravestarr in 3030. They're just making a living trying to justify this shit.
Mm-hmm.
3030 is doing all he can not to unleash Sarah Jane right in their face.
Yeah. At this point, Bravestarr decides, all right, it's time we got to destroy this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So strength of the bear.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Picks up this big metal beam, throws it in there, and shit blows up.
Yep. The base is destroyed.
Yeah, which I really enjoyed how well this was animated.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they do explosions so beautiful in this show, man.
Yeah.
And as they're being escorted into town to let them, all right, the base has been destroyed, and Brad is waiting there at the marshal's office to let Bravestarr know, like, I got something important I got to tell you right now.
Yeah. He lets him know about Jay. And then
you did the right thing, and then that's when Jay's mother shows, I can't find my boy.
Yeah, he's been missing all night. He didn't come home last night.
And Bravestarr's like, all right, we'll find him. Like, do you have any idea where he could be? He's like, well, we have a clubhouse. He's like, well, we got to haul ass. We got to get there right now.
Yeah, and he's like, they show up and he points up, there it is.
And Jay's going to go up first. Or Brad, excuse me. I keep goofing the names there, but Brad looks and just sees something his mind's not ready to comprehend and faints.
Yeah.
And 30 catches him and sets him aside, and Bravestarr's all right, let me go up and look.
And Bravestarr kneels down because you saw the hand in the one shot, kneels down. He's checking his pulse. Doesn't have
30 is like, I'll call Doc Clayton.
And he's saying, don't bother.
Don't bother.
It's too late. And admittedly, what I like, and I'm not ashamed to admit this, when this happened, because I was like, they're not going to go that far. They can't go that far, right? This is a kid's cartoon. There's no fucking way that they would do that. And when they did, I was like, they actually went there. And I teared up a little bit.
I've rewatched it twice this week, and when I rewatched earlier in the week, I teared up. Like it just came out. Like, oh my god!
Let me go back here. This visual is one thing. Like it's very strong. It implies right here that all right, yeah, he fucking passed out, whatever, right? It's not until this point when you go this right here when he checks the pulse, and then 30 I'll get Doc. He tells him, don't bother. He takes his hat off. And then when she she
just loses it.
It's so
fuck.
It's so tastefully done though. And just
it gets the message over in the most realistic way. Like this isn't about fucking around. Like this is what will happen.
Like look at that. Right there. It's
yeah.
I guess I should point up.
I mean kind of like,
Yeah,
a little water ad right now, looking at that image, like seeing 30-30, just like, oh my God, this woman just lost her child.
Yep, she lost her son. Brad lost his friend.
It's a sad day, and of course, dealer's been caught.
Which, if we're being honest, he would not be behind bars. He would be in the ground. if I were there.
I tell you, I think that was probably a conversation that 30-30 had with Bravestarr.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, look, this is the guy responsible for killing a child. Like, we're not taking him in. I could totally see that conversation taking place once they find him, and they've got a hold of him. Like Bravestar's like maybe got him cuffed, and Thur's like, let's end it right now. Like, look what this guy just killed a fucking child. Like, look, it's not our. And then Bravestar, that would be an interesting sequence where he's like, look, it's not up to us to decide this man's fate. It's up to the law. That's what we're here for.
Right.
But he killed a child. Like, I'm not saying it's right, 30-30, but we got to abide by the law. You know, like that's something I could totally see them having. And of course, Dealer's giving shit to Brad for turning him in, and all bracket thing. I was like, I wish I'd done it sooner.
Yeah. And then
Bravestar was like, all we can do right now is that hopefully what happened to Jay, that message can be passed on to stop somebody else from sharing the same fate.
Yeah.
And they're gonna walk outside for the casket run.
Yep. And then you see the rest of the town kind of gathered there.
And you see 30-30 there with Jay's mother, and it's quiet.
Yeah, and we just get the
panning shot back of Fort Carrium as they mourn, and we get this very impactful shot of Shaman shedding a tear, dedicated to Raymond Hamada.
Yeah,
which obviously is someone that people at Filmation were aware of, and obviously passed away from drug use.
So after we get that, then we cut here to like the moral segment. We have Jay's tombstone here. We have Bravestarr with a wreath that he's going to lay on it. And he says, drugs. Every year they claim thousands of lives. Each year, more young people like yourselves become involved in drugs. And each year, many of those young people end up like this. Drugs are dangerous. Drugs can kill. Don't mess with them. At best, you live to regret it. And worst, you won't live. So it's like
not pulling any punches with the message there. It's not about being bright and sunshine and rainbows here. No, I'm letting you know this shit's real.
Yeah. So he lays the wreath and walks away, and then we get credits. Like, dude, I went into this episode completely blind. I read nothing about it, much like I do.
Yeah, because when I suggested a while back, I never told you what it was about.
You never mentioned it at all, and that's obviously for the best. So going into this blind, just what a strong, just episode. I mean, just I was like, holy shit! When it hit credits, I was like, wow, like
it's a down ending, man. It's like an episode of Miami Vice. Like shit doesn't go right this time.
And cartoons don't do stuff like this.
No,
hardly ever, especially back then. So it's just. There's nothing like this.
No, and I'm glad that they were willing to do that, because like if we're going to address this, we're going to do it right. Yeah. We're not going to sit there and just dance around what can happen and just have one of our lead characters just say, this could happen to you.
Yeah.
You're like, no, we're going to show it does happen and can happen and will happen if you go down this path.
Yeah, it was you got to see the consequence. You just have to, because
that's told about it. You got to see. I think seeing it out. I mean, right there, like getting the message over, like, you know, it's not to say that every cartoon needs to have an episode where somebody dies, but if you're going to talk about something as always current as drug addiction and drug use is, like, you need to really like emphasize what will happen if you decide, you know what, I'm not going to get any help for this. Or I'd rather make fun of everybody for trying to help me out, or you know, not doing something about it.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, and I like I said before, I think it's relatable to anyone. I think most people have someone either very close to them or a relative in the family that is gone through, or maybe even them themselves have gone through addiction or currently in addiction, whatever. But I think it goes without saying, because we normally do ratings out of 10 for this. This is 10 out of 10.
Without a doubt. Wants to say less than that, they can fuck off.
Yeah, I don't know how you wouldn't find that impactful and just a strong message that's not treating you like you're dumb and not just eye roll inducing drug PSA. Like that is the way that was handled was exceptional.
Definitely top 3 episodes of Bravestarr, hands down. I mean, you could even say it's the best episode that was ever done because they played it straight. I mean, it depends, but I definitely, if I'm going to make a top 5, this episode's in the top 3.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So that was the price. Of course, it ends on a downer, very serious thing, but we will go ahead. We'll lighten the mood, but first we'll go ahead and run some commercials. So we'll be back right after this.
Outlaw Scuzza's days in Fort Curium jail are numbered. The evil Tex Hex is planning a jailbreak. Now for the bank and all that Curium. Bravestarr's hawk-like eyes see the danger. Has the evil Tex Hex finally won? Or is Fort Curium safe with Bravestarr? Only you know the answer. Neutral laser, command center, bank jail set, and figures each sold separately. Batteries not included. Some assembly required. Bravestarr from Mattel.
There's nowhere to hide.
You're all I have left. I don't want you working in the water.
No way to escape.
There's never been a great white where we live. I can't just let you go back down.
No one to help. Man's deepest fear has risen again. Lorraine Gary and Michael Caine. Jaws, The Revenge. This time, it's personal. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday, July 17th at theaters everywhere.
Everyone's flocking to McDonald's to get their flippers on Batman. Now, Batman Returns is on a dramatic series of collector cups with flying frisbee bat displays straight from the movie. Good. You can get your flippers on a large drink in one of 6 32-ounce collector cups at a special price when you buy any extra value meal, because what you want is what you get at McDonald's today. Gotta fly!
And we're back. Tyler, you've been watching James Bond movies. Granted, we were talking about this during our break period before we come back to the show. I'm like, well, let's just save it for the end bit here of the program that you're not going to watch them all, and I don't blame you for that. But you've gotten into the Daniel Craig Bond movies again. You watched Casino Royale, and you loved it.
Loved it. Again, as I was telling you, the ending I felt just feels kind of the ending, at least with Vespa, I'm like, it feels, forced. And I know it goes into Quantum of Solace, but I'm like, I don't know if I don't know. When I finish the series, I may decide to go back and give that another shot.
It might be worth it to.
It might, yeah. But outside of that little thing with her at the very, very end, at least her reasoning for doing what she does to James, like, it's an amazing movie and just reminds me of why I loved it so much when it came out in theaters. Like, when we went to go see it, I was like, I bought the poster. I bought an 8x10 of Daniel Craig, like in his Chuckles button-up shirt, holding a gun. I'm like, this is like my kind of James Bond.
Yeah.
And
but then you bought Skyfall and you watched that.
The boss. Oh my God, dude, Severine, the sequence with her, and oh my God, I've gone back and rewatched that sequence where he meets her for the first time in that bar, and the way it's lit and her presence is like, God, she's a fucking knockout. Like when she smiles and oh Jesus Christ, I was so glad he gets to fuck her. And, let me
live vicariously through him for a minute.
Well, it's just like, I'm glad James gets to lay down with that, and that's pretty much what it is. Like she waits for him to show up and fuck her.
Yeah.
Like, this is great. And then she gets taken out by fucking Javier, like, the next day, like, motherfucker. Like, and Miss Moneypenny's, fucking beautiful in the movie. I love her to death.
Yeah.
And as we're recording this, I'm in the middle of watching Spectre right now. So
And you're digging that so far.
I'm digging that right now too. Yeah.
And then you decided to go ahead and just purchase the last one.
I bought the last one too. It's on it. I actually got notification while we're recording. It's on its way along with Goldfinger 4K and License to Kill on Blu-ray.
Yeah, because you wanted to kind of dabble your toes in the other Bonds a little more.
Yeah, which I had seen License to Kill, loved it years ago, but I hadn't watched it so long. And when I was getting rid of a bunch of stuff, I just like cleaned house, and that was one. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna re-buy this and keep it, and I have no intention of ever doing that again. And go back and rewatching Timothy Dalton's last run as Bond, and then
we didn't talk about this. Are you gonna get Living Daylights as well?
Yeah, I'll get that too. Yeah,
okay.
I'll get that as well.
Yeah, I kind of figure since the Craig movies got 4Ks, they just released the Connery ones not too long ago. One is a set, and then they released them individually. And I recommend it to you since you got Goldfinger, get From Russia with Love and get it because both of those are.
I know
fantastic.
that Robert Shaw plays like one of the main heavies in that movie.
Like, he's really, really good in that role with his bleach blonde hair.
Yeah.
I assume at some point the Roger. Well, I guess it sort of depends now with 007 being through Amazon. Will there be 4Ks of like the Roger Moore movies? Will Timothy Dalton's 2 films get 4Ks down the road? That would be nice. If they do, I'll get both of those on 4K. I'm actually kind of, after I'm done watching the rest of them, which as of this recording, Tyler's jumping into the stuff. I gotta watch the Brosnan movies.
Yeah, because I'm like, Nathan's got to finish that before he can get back into the Daniel Craig was like, oh man.
Yeah. But hey, luckily right now they're all of them. Even No Time to Die is on Netflix, so I might do that this week. I might go ahead and run the gamut, and finish out and watch the series, and you and I can talk a little more about the Daniel Craig stuff. But I think after I go through it, it's Casino Royale. I'll probably pick up on 4K. But then again, I did buy the Blu-ray set that has them all up to Spectre, so I don't know.
And I think there's even a Daniel Craig like 4K set.
4K box set, yes. There is, yeah. But whatever, you've already started to buy them individually.
And I'm like, fuck it, I don't care.
And you don't want Quantum of Solace, probably. So,
well, and that's why I just remember like I think I saw it twice in theaters. You know, I thought
it's just not that good. There's like it's just kind of there. It's
even though
boring a little
Craig
bit.
Was good in it, and Olga, what's her name? Like the main Bond girl, and she was a knockout to look at. But I just had trouble keeping up what the fuck's going on, and I just didn't enjoy it. Even though I was like, I wanted to see more Daniel Craig. I want more Daniel Craig Bond. I kind of just got to where I'm like, it just didn't leave me wanting to go back and rewatch it more than the 2 times in theaters. And I did buy it when it came out on
DVD. I bought it on DVD
at the time. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think my dad watched it more than I did.
It didn't. I was the same way. It just didn't.
No, and because it took too long for Skyfall to come out, I had lost interest. I had no desire to. I remember seeing the trailers coming out. I'm like, I'm kind of over it at this point.
Yeah,
and I wish I hadn't.
It's cool that you decided though to jump back in. It's awesome,
I got you're liking last summer. Like last summer, I started watching some Bond material. And like, you know what? I haven't watched Casino Royale in over a decade or more. I'm like, let me just rebuy this. And I bought it, started to watch it, and then I got sidetracked, and that was many months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I just started thinking about it again in recent weeks. Like, let me just sit down, just no distractions, nobody bother me. I'm gonna sit here and watch this. And like, oh my god, like the first Bond girl, that beautiful Hispanic girl, just over the moon for her, knowing she gets killed. Fuck. But Daniel Craig's portrayal, like, is just, it's flawless. It's perfect. I remember when he was cast, like seeing him being introduced, like he was coming off a boat and they're gonna have like a big like press conference stuff like that too, and people were pissed off. He's got blonde hair. Like, so it's like I thought he looked cool, you know.
Yeah.
So it's been very energizing to, you know, be eager to sit down and watch these movies and having being so fit. I'm going back and just rewatching certain scenes over and over and over on YouTube when I'm at work taking a break. I'm just watching segments of Bond checking into the Ocean Club and Casino Royale, his meeting with Severine and Skyfall, and avoiding everything with Spectre and No Time to Die because I don't want.
I mean, granted,
I know what happens at the end of the last one. I don't know how it happens. I just know it happens.
Yeah.
So it's just avoiding that and then just watching segments from some of the other stuff and people talking about it and think about what Nathan had told me about his views as he was going through the movie, like which ones like stuck out to him, which ones like ugh.
Yeah.
And it's been kind of unanimous. Like Nathan's views are very similar to what other people who are Bond fans have kind of said about a lot of the other Bond films.
Yeah.
Which cool Connery movies are like, and which ones are like, oh fuck yeah, and same thing with Roger Moore and down the line, So
that's kind of the beauty of the series, as well as it's like, what are you in the mood for? Because they are very much based in their decades.
Yeah,
they were filmed in, so it's like, oh, I want something that has more of a '60s feel to it. All right, let's watch a Connery Bond. Oh, I want more of a funky soundtrack and a little bit lighter in tone. It's, all right, we'll go with something Roger Moore related. Timothy Dalton stuff is just one of those things. It's, do you want to watch? Well, Living Daylights is definitely way more lighter in tone. License to Kill is just, it's kind of on its own little island in terms of like how Bond movies are. I would kind of say that License to Kill fits in more with the Daniel Craig Bonds than it does with any of the other iterations of the character, just based off of how seriously it's treated, like a darker, like Roger Moore starts off really strong and then it's just, he's starting to get older and then the plots just get very cartoony to a degree, but still enjoyable, but they're just, most of them just aren't great. Like, there's only been a couple of them that I just walked away from like, yeah, I would absolutely never watch that again. But even some of the other ones, I'm like, yeah, if it was on, if I went to my parents' house and for whatever reason, Dad's got the Bond marathon on Spike TV, and I know that doesn't exist anymore, but they used to do that. If I showed up and that was playing and he was watching, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember this. I'll sit down and watch it. But a lot of people like Dr. No, and I'm like, yeah, I appreciate it because it was the first, but it's just, I don't like it. I thought it was just too boring and slow. But I've already
heard about it. It takes a long time to get going.
Yeah, and then when it does, it still doesn't feel like it's
the Dr. No's not in the movie that much.
Yeah, it's just he's just disappointing as a whole. But I've already talked about all that stuff before. But it's awesome that you're wanting to dip in a little bit and check out the best of the other Bonds. I spent, because you and I on previous episodes have been talking about Primal, how we both have really enjoyed it. I need to jump back into that and finish up season 2. But I decided to stay in the same sort of creative path, and I started watching Samurai Jack, and I'm like halfway through season 2 and have really enjoyed it. There are a lot of episodes that are really, really strong, and what I love the most about it, though, is just the wide cast of characters. You'll get some episodes where it's just like, oh, here Jack comes across these scientists that are like building this, and he caught wind of this over here that he can make a wish and he can go back in time, and it doesn't pan out because it never existed to begin with. And there's so much like, oh, there's this, but no, it's not what it turned out to be. And then there's just other episodes that are set off to the side that are just have nothing to do with his quest to get back to the past. It's just him helping somebody else or him just dealing with one certain scenario as like a one-off. And I just enjoy the variety of that. So I'm very much looking forward to watching the other seasons from that first run and then checking out that 5th season, because I've gone into this totally blind. So I know that first run was like rated Y7, and then that 5th season that came out years and years afterwards is TV-14. So I was curious to see what direction they take with that. I haven't gone on Reddit or anything and read what people's opinions are on it, because it's, who cares anyway. So I took a break from that, though, because I'm like, well, I don't want to just keep watching this and like burn myself out on it at all. So I switched back over to Batman Brave and the Bold, because I stopped at the first episode of season 3, the last season. So I'm like, all right, let's jump back into this and watch some more. And I love that show. Is it Batman the animated series? No, and I'm glad that it's not. But I also love its approach that it takes to Batman. It's this smashing together of just what I have enjoyed about Batman. Period. Taking some episodes being kind of serious, but then also having that lightheartedness of the '60s show and just smushing it together. So
it was definitely much better than I ever thought it was going to be. When you finally taught me, because when I saw the first like snippets of it, like before it came out, like, oh fuck no, man, keep it away.
Mm-hmm.
And after talking with you, and I finally sat down and watched. I don't know how many. I watched a lot, but I watched one in particular. I don't know if I can't remember if it was one that you had recommended or what. And then I bounced around like, oh my god, like this is tastefully done. This is not, like just constantly parodying because they think they'll be like. I always think it was gonna be like Thundercats Roar, like some shit like that, where they're just making fun of the content because they don't care about the content. They just want to make fun of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the case at all. It's definitely very, very true to the DC comics, and it goes really obscure with the characters that show up on the show. Mm-hmm. Animation is much enjoyed. Voice acting was good as well. So yeah, I was surprised how much I was going to like it.
Yeah, there was one episode in season 3 that I watched where Batman and I'm trying to remember Demon are teaming up together, and Demon's trying to capture this vampire, and she ends up biting Batman. So Batman turns into a vampire, and he decides to go up to the Justice League headquarters, like the tower,
the Watchtower.
Yep, and he's invited. I can't remember the two female characters because they're
Huntress.
No, they're like obscure characters to me. Like I think most people would see them and like, yeah, I don't know who the fuck those two characters are. But Martian Manhunter, Aquaman, Booster Gold, and I want to say Blue Beetle are up there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, Batman said this is very urgent and he needs us here. And Batman's like, oh yes, come and have dinner. So then it turns into he's going around and trying to bite all of them, and he turns some of them, and Martian Manhunter is trying to like fight him off. I'm like, this is just really fun. Like it's like, yeah, it's very outrageous, but just that concept, it's like that would be a fun episode to watch during Halloween.
It should be seen as a comic. I mean, because having read a number of Brave and the Bolds too, like it's a new adventure with Batman teaming up with this guy or that guy or this girl,
and that's what I like about the show as well, is those first few minutes have something else that has nothing to do with the rest of the episode. So it's just kind of a fun little.
It's an episode of an adventure before the regular show.
Yeah. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just there for your enjoyment.
It's a nice treat to get cameos and moments with other lesser known, much like what Justice League Unlimited would do.
Yeah. Yeah. So just really, really well done.
The episode with Batmite, I really enjoyed the hell out with Paul Rubens playing the voice of him. Like I really,
and you wouldn't expect to, because you said Batmite and you're like, oh god, this is gonna be like really annoying and dumb, but no, it's fucking great. So.
Yeah, it was very well written, and Paul Rubens just stole the show as Batmite.
Aside from that stuff, I haven't really watched anything else. So
I haven't had time. I watched a lot of several episodes of Primal last weekend, but with work and everything, I haven't had time to do anything else. It's just what things you can find on YouTube to watch in small spurts while you're doing stuff, and that's really about it. So
yeah. For me, it's just let me put on this YouTube video, or let me put on this show that the WWE Vault put up from 1993 and some random bullshit. I'm like, yeah, let's just throw this on.
All right, Tatanka versus Bash and Booger. Let's bring it on.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna fall asleep now. It's just like good comfort stuff. I don't really have to pay attention to it if I don't want to. It's pretty much just been watching those TV shows while I'm at work, when I'm at home, random YouTube stuff, watching hockey games, of course, when they are on during the week. But aside from that, I'm gonna dive back into Bond. We get those Brosnans knocked out.
I got to get your current
thoughts on Craig.
Yeah.
I'll probably, well, there's no probably. I am definitely going to revisit Quantum of Solace. I'm just going to do it in order. So I'll let you know.
I probably should have done that, but just knowing that I was like, I don't feel like stopping to.
Yeah, I mean,
knowing the Skyfall is like not like you don't have to like watch that and refresh yourself to watch Skyfall. Like no, you just jump right into it. So
yeah, I do.
Once I finish this run up, maybe I'll circle back around and buy it cheap because I'm getting it from a dealer on eBay. He's selling a lot of 4Ks like relatively cheap, and they're good quality too. By the way, The Shining didn't come with a digital code, so that's why I didn't send it to you.
That's fine. I mean,
but it was $15 if you want to get a copy of it in 4K. I was like, hey, $15, man.
I think The Shining's one of those movies. It's like it feels like it's always on streaming, and that's a movie I feel like I don't have to. I think I have it on Blu-ray. That's the thing.
I got it on Blu-ray too, but I'm like, I really want to upgrade. I almost thought about watching it today with the snow outside today.
Yeah. I thought about. I was like, maybe I just put The Thing back on again.
I've watched that when it started outside. It's very appropriate.
Because the weather right now, especially tonight,
it's fucking cold.
The wind is howling, and there's a lot of snow. Which luckily now I'm happy that I can actually walk on it because it was just a sheet of fucking ice all week. Yeah, because it didn't dip below freezing. But one thing I do want to point out: look at Tyler's little setup there behind him. He's looking good, man.
I'm very proud about it. There's still a little bit more work to do, but not as much as it was before. It's just kind of boxed up a few things until I can figure out what to do with some other things. Because I don't know if I want to bring another shelf in here and have more stuff. I'd like to be able to spread out more of the artwork that I've got and use that for the random space and just get some totes and box up a bunch of stuff and maybe put out some other things at another time. But for right now, like all my shelves are pretty well packed out. Even the bottom has got a few things on it down here.
Yeah.
So
really nice to see the box stuff like actually sitting on a shelf prominently too.
I agree, and like I said too, what you can't see, there's more along the bottom here.
Yeah.
I'll get it straightened out more, but like I think once I got done last Sunday, I was just like, I'm good for right now until I can figure out what I'm going to do next, and what I need to do next is I got to make a trip to Walmart to get the box, and then it'll make it look nicer and neater, and I got to get more frames and then or use the ones that are already framed to put on display and things like that too. So it's definitely something I'm very proud of, man, and it's all thanks to you, man. You got the ball rolling Christmas Eve.
Well, I would definitely like to when it's all done and ready, I would like to film a little tour video so people can actually just see the collection in its entirety.
Yeah, I mean it's not everything because I got a shit ton in storage.
Yeah,
I just can't do it.
He doesn't have the space for it.
No. So for what I have in an apartment, this will have to suffice, and I'm pretty happy and proud about it right now.
So. And honestly, I'll probably do the same thing at some point. Like I would love to do your collection video of your Master Universe stuff.
Yeah, you definitely got to do yours as well. Man.
Yeah, just give everyone a tour of the office here. But so I got to watch some James Bond. You got to watch some James Bond. We got to dive back into Primal. I got some hockey that I got to watch. I need to get around to some of these other movies though, like Roofman with Channing Tatum. And I know you hate him, but that movie looked pretty good. I still need to get around.
I remember when I was shown some behind the scenes because of Toys R Us. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not buying this as legit Toys R Us. I was already nitpicking that apart. I'm like, this is where's the action figure? This is just kind of like bullshit in the store and just saying it's Toys R Us.
Well, I mean, that would be kind of hard to replicate when you think about it, though.
I mean, I know, but I'm like, I'm just like, because you're going to emphasize Toys R Us, it needs to look as authentic as a Toys R Us. Like,
I agree.
Call it another toy store. Just don't call it Toys R Us if you're going to go down that route.
Yeah, if you're gonna go that path. But I do want to check that out. I still want to watch the Running Man. There's probably a couple.
I hate on Channing Tatum. I could give two shits. I liked him as Gambit, and that's about it. So I've outgrown my distaste for him in general. I'm sure he's a cool guy.
Yeah, he seems.
I just
chill.
Don't. It's not his fault. G.I. Joe fucking sucked. And the movie Fighting he was in, that sucked balls too. But I'm like, I don't hate the guy. I'm over all that. I'm sure he's cool. I could probably talk cool stuff if I ever ran into him at a gym somewhere or something like that.
I think there's a couple other newer movies that have dropped on streaming services that I'm kind of have a passing interest in, but none that I can just sit here and rattle off. But I saw that some stuff was showing up on the services. So yeah, there's a little bit of stuff to watch. So hopefully I can do that, and maybe the next time that you and I are here recording a show, we can talk some more Craig Bond.
Oh, and, I'm eager to get your take on it, man. Like before I realized that Spectre showed up in the mail today, I was like, I think I might watch Skyfall again.
Oh wow,
it was really fucking good, man.
Yeah,
like, it really was. Like Javier was so good in it, and
that's
the actress that plays Severine, man. I'm like, I'm just in love with that actress. Like, I know the movie's like over 10 years old at this point, but just I was so captivated with her beauty in the movie. Like, oh my god, she just.
Speaking of Javier Bardem, No Country for Old Men. I need to get that on next time Criterion has a sale. I would like to pick that up.
And so I remember you mentioned that, but it is out to buy in 4K Criterion.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So when it goes on sale, that's definitely on the list. But I think the next Criterion sale is not till July. So
you need to save money anyway. So
that's the incentive.
Well, and I do as well, because I'm like I just need to stop buying figures in general.
Yeah, I had a conversation about this exact thing with a listener 2 days ago. He was like, "Hey, are there any G.I. Joe classifieds you want to get?" And I was like, "No, at the moment, no. Like, there's a small list, but at the moment, I was like, I've kind of lost interest, but in the sense that it's more so about I should probably just not spend so much money on that kind of thing right now." It's like
that in the space, man. Like,
that's
characters I so want to buy them. I'm like, I have no place to put them, and I'm like, and I need to box up the stuff that I don't have a place for at the moment. And I kind of feel like, kind of makes me want to kind of condense things down in general, and not make the place look like, just shit everywhere, and it just is like, maybe it's just what I want to do for the time being. It's I'm sure I'll get it fixed, but where I want to get back into it again at some point. But I really right now, like, after having done this overhaul in here, and just realized, like, you know what, I like having less is more. It's more about the basics of what really means a lot to me. Some animation cells, posters, and some choice artwork in the Men on Card collection, man. I don't need to have anything, and of course the Holy Grail right next to me here.
Yeah.
So I don't need to have a bunch of extra shit just all over the place.
That's where
at our age, like, look, I know I'm a hardcore Turtles fan. I'm a hardcore Joe fan. I'm a hardcore fan of a lot of stuff. I'm a hardcore Marvel fan, but it's too much. And I'm like, I'm comfortable saying that. I'm happy with, like, you know what? Enough's enough.
Yeah,
I'd rather spend my money on other things that or doesn't require more pileups in a limited amount of space.
Now you're just like, I'm gonna buy some more movies.
Well, because because the ones that are on the shelf I can recycle and get them out, so I'm just kind of evening it out.
Yeah,
like the shiny Blu-ray, and get rid of that because I got the 4K on that now.
Yeah, so. I mean, it was so all of my movies for the most part are display, like they're. I put them all down in the basement. They all got their spot there. But I was toying with the idea, and I'm probably still going to do it. I need to just buy a bigger shelf to have up here to put in not in the office, put it in the living room, because I just have this smaller shelf, and it's got movies that I've bought probably in the last 4 or 5 years. They're all on that shelf, more or less. And it's like, after I've watched them or whatever, I take them downstairs and put them with the rest of the movies, because there's still space down there. That shelf is full, and I got a stack on the top of the shelf that's probably like this tall, and it's all 4Ks and Blu-rays. So you think about how much thinner those cases are compared to DVDs.
Yeah,
and it's like this tall. I'm like, I just need to buy a shelf that's has more space. I can put against the wall in the living room up here underneath a couple of the posters, and then just have them up here. Bring up the stuff from downstairs that it's like, I'll rewatch this more, and it bounces around so much on streaming services that it'll just be here, and I can just toss it in. Because I am now one of those lazy fucks that I'm like, oh, I gotta get up and put the disc in, and I gotta take the disc out.
I do. I'm never that. I
have gotten to that point.
No, I don't think that'll ever be me, man.
When the internet went out, and we didn't have internet for like a day and a half, and I was like, well, let's what do you want to watch? And we started watching some X-Files, and I'm like, let's continue off where we were when we were on, I think we're streaming on Hulu. That disc has sat in my PS5 since that day. I haven't gotten up to take it out, put it back in the case or whatever. And I'm like, so I'm not Savage level to where I'm taking the discs out and I'm just like leaving them random places and not putting them in the case. Not. I don't know why people did that anyway. They're like, why is the disc scratched? It's like, because you're a fucking idiot and you didn't take the 2 seconds to put it in the case. But my whole thing now is like, I got to get up off the couch, walk all the way across the room, take the disc out. It's like,
I picture when Nathan goes, he farts. So he goes, I got to get up now. And
yeah, and I make the noise that dude did when he fell on ice. That video I sent you on. That was good stuff.
And they're like, Wendy's.
Yeah. Smells like pineapple and little kids.
Pineapple little kids, which means like stinky little kids. I was attested to like some incident at the Burger King ball pit and some nasty ass ragamuffin.
You ever think about how gross that was that we were just in those ball pits as kids? All that germ infested bullshit.
But never even occurred to me, like going all the way back to like the first ball pit I was in was like at Showbiz Pizza.
Yeah.
And that was like, oh my God, there's a ball pit and a big slide. Like,
yeah. And
then when it become a norm, like at Burger Kings and fast food chains, you're like, oh my God, can we go? Not thinking. Then when you come across some kid who's like shit himself and stinks, you're like, you know.
And it's all over the balls, man.
Yeah. And you got shit stained balls all over the, you know, it's just, it didn't occur to me that
you just get
stinky kids that are picking their nose and digging their butthole and sniffing their fingers and God knows what else, you know.
Smell like onions.
Yeah, smell like onions and don't leave the house or some shit like that, you know. Just
they have to leave the house to get in the ball pit.
Like, well, that's like the only time they leave is when they leave home to go to the ball pit.
I
think
I remember the McDonald's one that they had the play, like the ball pit was outside. And I never got to experience one of those. That was pretty gnarly, and it sucked at the same time because like a hot summer day and the way that they had it wasn't like concrete, man. It was like this softer. It wasn't carpet or nothing either, but
it's like kind of a spongy.
Yeah, and it was fucking hot as hell. You burn your feet on that and get into the ball pit. But I guess in that regard, it was better that the ball pit was outside because at least it's getting the UV rays that kind of kills some of the germs. I can't believe my mom.
That's being you know, what's the word? That's being fuck. I don't know what the word is, but it's like that's being too kind,
too lenient.
You know? Yeah, too lenient. But what always is one of those things I never got to do, and I would always see it in passing, was when McDonald's used to have a full outdoor playland with like the old playground setups.
Yeah.
You look at pictures of how they used to look back in the 80s, and if they're knowing that there were a few remnants still lingering in the 90s, and you'd always pass it going out of town or going to the beach, like your face is pressed up against the one. Oh my God! And
we gotta go. No, there's no time.
And get Happy Meal because they may have one of the toys I don't have. They got the Playland too. Like we
got
8 hours to get to Myrtle Beach. We ain't stopping for nothing right now.
Absolutely. So. Yep. It's bathroom breaks, and that's about
breaks. Maybe you get something real quick, but we sure as shit are not letting you guys play on the playground. We got 5 more hours to get to the beach.
Yeah, it's like we brought a cooler. There's sandwich stuff inside of that.
God, I tell you,
deal with it.
When Mom says we got sandwiches and snacks, like, it's like Nathan having to get up and change the disc. Like, no,
I do. When
I want nuggets, I want McNuggets. I want to find out what action figures in the bag.
When we went to Florida, when we went to Universal and Disneyland when I was 9 years old.
I envy you.
That's a long car ride though, man.
Oh, that's why I'll never do it because I don't know how long that ride is.
Of course, I had this whole thing, like a lot of kids do, where and some adults, you can only poop at home. Like
I get that. I get
that. I mean, now
you need home base.
Like now, I'm like, as long as it's clean, I don't care.
Yeah, I don't worry about that. I'm not gonna be uncomfortable. If I gotta take a shit, it's happening. I don't want to go in there and have a, as long if I can do a quick wipe because some jerk off is just like wants to stand there and piss all over the fucking place. Like, fine.
Yeah. But back then it was like home base or nothing. But before we went on the trip, I got constipated. So I was like, I hadn't pooped for days, and we're getting ready to go on this trip. We get down to Georgia, and I start getting the tum-rums, and like Dad's driving. And I'm like, it's happening. I gotta take a shit. I didn't say I gotta take a shit. I was like, I gotta poop. And Dad's like, all right. And then like speeds. We get to a Toys R Us. We're on our way to a Toys R Us, but he's speeding, gets pulled over. He tells the cop, he's just like, yeah, I'm speeding. Just give me the ticket. My son hasn't shit in like 3 days, and he's got to poop. I gotta go. And the officer's like, all right, here's your ticket.
Oh, they still gave him the ticket, man. Fuck.
No, he was like, all right, yeah, just write the check out, whatever, send it to this. Anyway, so I got to when I finally had my poop, and then we got to shop briefly at Toys R Us. So
do you remember what you got?
I don't think I got anything that I can recall. Now, well, I would say I could ask my dad, but his memory is worse than mine. So I guess I would have to ask Mom. But I don't think I picked up anything. The priority was just taking a shit. The rest was just shit looking, just looking around.
I thought maybe like if you didn't get anything, it was close to your birthday or something like that.
Actually, when we went down, I think it was the week after my birthday. It was in July when we went down. So we went to Universal. We went to SeaWorld too, and we went to Disney. So we hit up all three.
And you got to do the Jaws ride, didn't you?
No, didn't do the Jaws ride. I was a big wiener back then. I was afraid of everything. So I only rode a few select things at Disney. I think my dad rode some stuff without me. I did ride the King Kong ride at Universal.
Oh God, I would love to have seen that.
Scared the shit out of me.
Oh, I'm sure it would have fucking me too, but
hated it. But in hindsight, looking back at it, I was like, yeah, it's badass. I got to ride it.
Yeah.
Because now is it still the Mummy?
Watch The Wizard, or someone's like uploaded a home video on YouTube to get you to fix.
Yeah.
Did you say you saw like the Ghostbusters dance show or something like that?
Yeah, the stage show, the Ghostbusters stage show. Yeah, that was really great. You can find that on YouTube as well. I found that.
Yeah, I know. I've looked up too, like the Conan live action show they had at Universal Studios, which was really cool. Like this big dragon comes out of the pit, and all this cool like video footage of like them addressing this evil sorcerer on the screen, stuff like that too. And
and I think we also did they had a couple things. So one was like the Universal Monster makeup show.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
And then the Alfred Hitchcock
show. Cool.
Yeah. Where it's like they show you how the shower scene was filmed.
And Psycho was done.
Yeah. So and this was at a point too where Universal didn't have all the fucking roller coasters. They didn't have the Island of Adventure.
More movie stuff. Just
it was strictly because you got to think we went in. Would have been 1993. So this is
that's 3 years after it opened too. I think it opened in 1990. I think.
Yeah, so
like
this
the one in Orlando.
Yeah, so this is prime shit. We went to Nickelodeon Studios. Like took the tour of the place. Yeah, it was good times, man.
I tell you, man, you had a killer childhood, man.
I need to. What I'll do is because we have all kinds of pictures from that trip. Maybe I'll do that. We'll do like an episode.
Get that shit out.
Yeah, we'll make a show about it, and I'll just show off the photos. Now, granted, it's like, oh, here's a picture of me at SeaWorld feeding some dolphins, and my dumb ass.
You'll get down to the meaty stuff, like the stuff that it's.
Well, my dumb ass, because they had like the Shamu show, right? So
yeah. Oh yeah.
They
get splashed.
Yeah, because my dumb ass went and sat in like the first row.
Oh, you definitely.
Yeah, my parents were like, we'll sit all the way back here. We know where you are. I'm like, I gotta sit up here because I wanted to get splashed.
Yeah, that's the whole point. You gotta sit close. You
But
get soaked.
But then you spend the rest of the day walking through the park, and your fucking shoes
Your
are
shoes
stoked.
going spork,
Yep.
spork. Yep.
And then they smelled the rest of the trip.
Yeah.
So yeah, good times. Yeah, that was a fun trip. And then we went to Daytona Beach and stayed at this really shitty fucking hotel. It was bad. Like my my mom, because you know how my mom is with like stuff being clean.
Yeah. By the way, if your parents ever watch this, I want to commend them. From time to time, I will smell a scent that reminds me of your parents' house, and it's always this clean scent that it was ever since the first time I went over there. It has always smelled like that's the scent of clean.
What was
fresh.
it like? Is it like Downy or like Gain or?
It's some, but the whole house has the same scent. Like all like.
I mean, fuck it better. She cleans the house like.
But I'm just saying, like
every
it
week.
was immaculate. Like it just. But
still
when
is.
I smell that, it smells like Nathan's house. You know. So if they ever hear this, please let them know. I have never forgotten the scent of your parents' house. And it's very nostalgic of the early days of going over and hanging out. You know.
Dad will pass along the message for sure. But yeah, that hotel at Daytona Beach, man. Fucking, that was like Roach Motel. It was bad. But I think
sanitary semen stains all over the bed.
I mean, if I don't know what a black light would have done to that room. It was probably bad. But I think at that point it was more about the funds were starting to get low for the trip. Because you have to think too, this is pre really like debit cards and shit. You're like,
did you guys like have to stay, was it like a Days Inn or how?
Dude, I know. I think it was
Inn or some shit
no,
like that?
It was worse. I don't even think it had a chain, dude.
It's just like the shit stop motel or something.
Yeah,
like
I mean, think about it. When you go down to Myrtle, you see like those fucking just offshoot. Like maybe back in their day, maybe like in the 60s and 70s, it was something. But now,
yeah, there's always something they're laying there. Maybe they're one level to the ground, or maybe two.
Yeah, it was like
but
that. It was that. It was one of those.
It kind of reminds me of the Executive Motel here in Radford. You know,
it was like
as long as that place has been there,
it's
I've
like
always
that.
envisioned that being like a.
It was that bad. It was awful. Semen stains everywhere.
I love it.
Oh man,
look at that big stain. That's for these big grapefruits.
Yeah, there's probably like cleaned up vomit stains and it. We were only in there for a night, I believe, because Daytona Beach was just. It was kind of. I think it was like a layover in between deals. I can't remember. I'll re-ask them.
Yeah, back then we're like, you're not booking things online in advance. You got to go and see who's available, who's got vacancy.
Yep. And you're just paying cash money, you know?
Yeah.
What simpler times. I wouldn't have traded any of that for anything, man.
God, no, dude. Even as much as I hated the drives to Myrtle back in the day where there were 8 hours.
Yeah.
It was the magic of getting there in the sights of like as you're getting closer and closer. And
which, I mean, I've shown you the photos before too. Going back to Universal, it's like me in front of the Nickelodeon guys.
Yeah,
and then me in front of like the Jaws where they got
hanging up.
Yeah, they got a shark hung up, and so it's not Jaws, but it's the one that
I think it's like the same mold they use at like Bass and Pro Shops. They always have like a big ass like great white hanging.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like that, same setup and everything.
Yeah, but we'll do an episode down the road where like I just show off more of the pictures from that vacation because at this point now it's a time capsule because this is before these theme parks price gouged everybody out of fucking everything.
I mean, Universal Studios was all movie, and Nickelodeon was at the peak of its awesomeness.
Mm-hmm.
I think about what kids have today with Nickelodeon. Like you kids don't know. I mean, and granted, it's like it's just because what you grew up with. Like, dude, the magnitude, the popularity of Nickelodeon back in the late '80s and early '90s is without equal.
Because it was the first of its kind that really pushed the kids' programming.
Oh my god! From animated shows to live action shows.
Mm-hmm. Which what is it? They're gonna do. So it's like, what's her face? Christine Taylor, and then what's his fucking face from Hey Dude?
Ted or Mr. Ernst or Kyle or
no, I think it would have been Ted. So they do a podcast together, and they're gonna do a Hey Dude reunion thing. Like I think at the ranch.
Is Danny going to show up too?
Yeah, I think everybody's going to be there. That's
holy shit, that sounds really cool.
Yeah, and then it got me thinking. I'm like, I kind of want to watch some more Hey Dude.
Last time I watched it, it did not hold up.
It sucks. It sucks, but I kind of just for the nostalgia's sake, just pop it on.
Well, going back to rewatch, I'm thinking like, God, I had such an intense love for that show. I'm like, where did it go?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the theme song, you know.
Well, I mean that episode where Captain Lou Albino shows up as a wrestler, Mr. Ernst has to get in the ring with him, and
yeah.
You know.
The one thing that always stuck out to me is Danny being like, "Yeah, you got to put dirt on your pants." That's like
that was just watching that in the weekdays with eating chicken tenders and watching Hey Dude and or on Saturdays and Salute Your Shorts is on for like an hour.
And you hope that maybe you're gonna be able to watch the Capture the Flag episode.
Oh, that one or the
Zeke the Plumber
loves Dina episode.
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That one and of course Zeke the one. Which one thing about Nickelodeon when any holiday was coming around, they were always plays. You get closer to the holiday that week, they're always going to have an episode that is similar, or that you could watch close to like Halloween. Anything moderately horror related that Nickelodeon had in their stockpile of shows was playing the week of Halloween. Same thing, Valentine's Day, Christmas. Well, it was,
Rugrats had that Hanukkah special. That was cool.
Yeah, they had the Santa experience close to Christmas, Valentine's Day, anything to do with the love story. Not even Valentine's Day, but Dina loves Donkey Lips. Shows up and Clarissa explains it all. When Clifford Spleenerfer has a thing for Clarissa. Anything to do with like love letters, or even if it was like other shows that they would, because he used to play Muppet Babies and Beetlejuice on Nickelodeon back in like other syndicated animated shows on Nickelodeon, and then Doug, like
or you get and then the shows like 15 and Welcome Freshmen.
15, Welcome Freshmen.
I gotta say though, out of the live action stuff, you can agree or disagree with this because I know we both hold Salute Your Shorts in the highest regard.
Oh, it's still top of the line.
I think the very tip top for me though is Pete and Pete. Pete and Pete's got to be at the top.
Pete and Pete would be a step, just a step, a little step. I can't help it. Salute Your Shorts to me was just the end all be all, man.
I get that, but I think the production, the fucking soundtrack, the music.
I don't know. I can't argue with any of that.
Yeah, and then the cameos, just from
the cameos are unbelievable, and the stories too. Like knowing too, watching the shorts that would play during the commercial breaks, and then they're going to do a Pete and Pete special.
Yeah,
like oh my god, I got to be there for this.
And then Little Pete's Rogues Gallery is fun,
which I don't think I saw that.
No.
No, you're talking about on the show.
Yeah, I'm talking about just
there was a show called.
No. I mean that would have been cool, but
the Rogues on the Pete and Pete show were amazing. Yeah. Open Face, Endless Mike, Pit Stain,
Paper Cut.
Like they were just some that first batch, and I think it was the Valentine's Day Massacre episode. I think it's what or the one where Big Pete is in love with his math teacher.
Yeah.
And Open Face has his gang of misfits.
Yeah.
Like that's just a fun episode. And like watching that when it first aired was like, that was a big, and then when obviously the what I did on my summer vacation with Mr. Tasty, that was my favorite because that was, and you watch it during the summertime too. So it was another exciting bit in the summertime to watch that.
Polaris, the band that does the theme.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of the music. One of my favorite songs, I wanted to double check it. Waiting for October. Love that fucking track. And just the aesthetic of Pete and Pete always just makes me think of fall for the most part.
There's something about that show that is very fallish. Yeah.
They have their, you see the seasons, obviously. Like the Mr. Tasty is in the summertime. With the brain freeze.
When they're playing baseball, Orange Lazarus.
Yeah. So it's like we get a lot of that, and then of course when they doesn't it take place in summertime too? The episode where they want to break the record for staying up for the longest amount of time.
Winter clothes when they're doing that.
Yeah. Anyway,
that which is called the Night Crawlers. That's the name of the episode. Is Night Crawlers. That's one of the best of the series. I always thought.
When I get around to giving you the flash drive with all that stuff, season 3 of Pete and Pete will be on there because since that never got released on DVD, unfortunately. Yeah, which is a fucking bummer. But go watch Pete and Pete, everybody. The show fucking rocks.
Yeah, Pete and Pete, salute your shorts. I've never gone back and watched. I know I've seen snippets of 15.
Yeah,
like watching the intro. Like I remember everybody in the intro, like
Ryan Reynolds,
which I would have never known. I think it wasn't until many years like after he was on 15.
Yeah.
And then you see him like playing drums and with I think Jake was like the kind of leather jacket wearing guitar player. It was kind of like.
I remember when I watched that and I was like, oh man, they're like so much older and they're so cool.
Yeah. And I thought Matt's like this drunk is just get out of my life. Because Ashley's like, oh, come on, Matt, you shouldn't drink. He's just like screaming and yelling at her.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just all I remember. Maybe he just did that in one episode.
Yeah.
But like the theme music is so cheap.
Yeah, it's bad.
You know, it's
bad.
just. But at the time,
it's a teen soap opera, and
soap opera on Nickelodeon, out of Canada.
Yeah,
you know that Welcome Freshman and all the game shows.
Yeah,
that they were making for kids. I mean, Nick Arcade, Legends of the Hidden Temple, Make the Grade, Guts.
We
Double
watched
Dare being the best of the best.
We watched some Nick Arcade not too long ago.
I watched them about a month or so ago.
Yeah, it's just like it's just fun.
It's comfort TV, and I still to this day like always wanted to go over there and fight Mongo. But then when you watch it, you know you can understand like why the contestants had such a fucking hard time. It's like you're doing it, and you're like it ain't you're not catching the coin, like motherfucker. Like
I know WWE superstar Xavier Woods was petitioning to bring back Nick Arcade, and that he wanted to host it, and that would have ruled because he would have been very, very good at it, But
no, the kids like the games that they would be playing Ghosts and Goblins and Toki and all these other random games that would show up on the show. Sometimes it'd be games that we're familiar with. Now it'd just be
generic shit.
Shit that you get on your fucking phone for like
it probably would be mobile games that they would have to
like
do
that's not fucking interesting.
Because the games most of them don't have high score stuff, so you got to set that precedence.
I almost feel like if I were to show that show to my nephews, like what would they like? So they get to play. I don't know. What
it wouldn't make sense to them.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Even though they play, stuff on PlayStation and things like that too. It's a novelty that's beyond that generation.
Oh, Nickelodeon. How you were and how you used to be.
We're just very fortunate we grew up when we did, man, to catch enough of the 80s to get a big taste of it and soak in all of the transition into the 90s when children's television, man, was just like a firestorm, man.
Yep. And then
they're still playing old stuff like You Can't Do That on Television, still being played in the 90s.
Shit, they were still playing reruns of the Monkees early on when I remember watching
that
Nickelodeon.
like 89.
Yeah.
And just thinking it was a great show. The old Dennis the Menace black and white show used to be that's how I was introduced to that. Lassie would play like ass early in the morning along with Mr. Wizard on Nickelodeon.
And then isn't it funny how Lassie, Dennis the Menace all either got a cartoon and a live action movie right around the early to mid 90s.
Yeah, because they did the Dennis the Menace the movie, and then the animated series. I thought the animated series came out in the 80s, though. I thought
maybe it did. So,
but it played into the 90s because Dairy Queen had it as like their kind of mascot
their mascot for a while. Yeah, fuck
yeah.
But where they were just doing live action, like Flipper got a live action
and
movie
Flipper,
in the
and
90s.
then Lassie had Smalls from The Sandlot played like the lead in that movie. I remember.
Yep. So it was like everything. They kept it going was still impressionable to us. It's like, all right, let's put a live action movie.
Black and white. I didn't care. Like it's last day I watched this. It didn't bother me. It was black and white. At least those shows didn't bother me. If it was a movie, that was one thing. But TV show didn't bother me.
Mr. Ed always. I'm like, all right, it's time to go to bed. Time to go to bed.
That was a show I remember when we were living at my granny's house, and it was a fight with my mom because she did not want to watch it, and plus they were letting me commandeer the TV all fucking evening anyway.
Yeah.
So when Mr. Ed comes on, I was like, yeah, you're done. You're done. We're not watching this shit. I got my way a couple of times to watch Mr. Ed, but
Yeah, man.
yeah.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead. We'll wrap this up. Hope everyone enjoyed this nostalgic discussion. But most importantly, I hope everyone enjoyed us discussing a very serious, well-done episode of Bravestarr. Go watch some other episodes of Bravestarr. It's definitely a little more lighter.
We need more celebration, people. Be as vocal as you want about this. Like, we encourage you. Like, whether your favorite character is Sandstorm, or your favorite episode is, Strength of the Bear, which is another episode me and Nathan are going to cover at some point. Or the movie. Get your thoughts on the movie that's put out. It's a wonderful movie.
Leave a comment down below on all that stuff. Make sure you like this video, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and until later, let the power return.
No, don't. There's a peck here with an acorn pointing at me.
Oh. I have no idea.
You couldn't sound more defeated. I don't know. You have your Mike Nelson tone going there.
Yeah. You drop it down low enough and just kind of deadpan it. It really does sound like Mike Nelson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if I can throw another one at that. It's not as super obvious. All right. Well, one of my favorite lines. My queen, I have destroyed the castle of Galadorn.
Fuck no. I don't
I'm sorry. Pack.
See, every time I'm about to answer this, I'm like, am I going to feel like a dumbass immediately? Probably.
She's not sick. Let me see her. Oh, take her.
Willow.
There you go.
Yeah, it's the peck thing that really
yeah. Well, I was hoping I said the first line. There's a peck here with an acorn pointing at me.
Yeah, no, I think you have to really say it repeatedly for it to really sink into my head.
Otherwise, you're like Garth in the first Wayne's Run.
Yeah. Or I know you don't watch the show, but it's like Tina and Bob's Burgers because she does the same thing.
She just kind of has like a flat line response to stuff.
Which I've really I've come around to that show. Like once I started watching, I was like, this is perfectly fine and acceptable and funny enough. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's like Family Guy. Family Guy I would never watch again because fuck that show. But Bob's Burgers is good. I like Bob's Burgers.
Anytime I see Seth MacFarlane, like, hey, you're the asshole one to read Naked Gun, and your Family Guy fucking sucks. It's just like long, drawn out jokes. He'll find some joke that's not funny, and it just lingers for 5 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
And
I remember that one time. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That show sucks. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thanks for your time, everybody.
It's 2 nouns combined to elicit a prescribed response.
I wonder if somebody calls my mama a whore.
Is she?